Recording. Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to geography class. Okay. So Rajat Krishna, which chapter we are discussing here? Tell me, Rajat.
Sir, manufacturing industry.
Manufacturing industries. Manufacturing industries. And Steve and Mary, send information Priya. Turn on your cameras. Please do that. Okay. So manufacturing industries. So last three classes you discussed about the importance of manufacturing industries, importance of manufacturing industries, and share of this manufacturing industries or contribution of manufacturing industries to the GDP. Clear? To the gross domestic product. Gross domestic product. These are the two topics we covered. Okay, and today we want to discuss about the industrial location. Industrial location. So before start an industry, basically the organizer want to think about various factors. Okay, basically about the factors of production. Factors of production. Tell me, Adidev, what are the factors of production? Adidev,
Yes, sir.
what are the factors of production?
Raw materials,
Question is, what are the factors of production?
industries,
Pardon?
industries,
Listen carefully. My question is factors of production. Okay, if you want to produce something, some factors are necessary. What are those factors? In economics also you studied the same, the factors of production. The basic concept of economics. What is that, Heinz Steve?
Land, labor,
Then?
infrastructure,
What?
infrastructure,
Infrastructure, man. Okay, then not infrastructure basically. Okay. So it is capital, land, labor, capital, and the organizer. Okay, clear or not? Land, labor, capital, and the organizer. So the four factors of production. Clear? Okay, want to understand and want to know about these things clearly. Clear? Then only we are able to discuss about the primary sector, secondary sector, tertiary sector, something like that in the economics. But here we're discussing about the secondary sector. Okay, clear? Manufacturing industries are included in that sector. Manufacturing industries. Okay. Sainapa, Johan, Haya, Abid, Meghna, Pradeep, Rosemi, Rifa Abdul Kalam, Aditya, turn on your cameras. Okay, is that clear or not? Okay, these are the four factors of production. Very important. Okay, land, labor, capital, and organizer. If any one of these factors is missing, it is not possible. It's impossible to produce anything new, right? Okay, land is present, labor is present, capital is there, but there is no organizer. You cannot think like that. Anyway, okay, there is no organizer. Production is not possible, and the organizer is there. Capital is there, land is there, but there is no labor. That time also production is not possible. Clear? Unable to produce. Understand or not? It is clear or not? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? 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 My voice is clear or not? Okay, fine. So that's it. Okay, these are the four factors of production. Please write somewhere. Okay. Without these factors of production, okay, production is not possible at all. Okay. So land, labor, workers, okay, land, labor, capital, okay, money to invest to start the production, land, labor, capital, and finally an organizer. An organizer also necessary to organize all other three factors of production. Organizer is a compulsory one. All right or not? Finally, one more factor is there is going to be the technology that what we are using to produce a product. Technology. So land, labor, capital, organizer, and technology. 4+1. 4+1. These are the factors of production. Remember. So before start an industry, basically the organizer will think about availability of capital, availability of raw material, availability of cheap labor, availability of electricity, availability of water. Okay, clear or not? And good transportation facilities like that. Various things he or she will think before start an industry there. Okay, so here you can see here industrial locations, very important question for the examination. Let us short note about the industrial location. Okay, or what are the essential things that we need to start an industry. Okay, here industrial location are complex in nature. They are influenced by availability of raw material. First point, what is that? What is that? Availability of raw material. So related with this, we can say industries that basically using some particular kind of raw material. Okay, clear. Example, iron and steel industry. Iron and steel industry. Such industries will start where the start in the places where this iron ore is available or coal is available. Clear or not? Okay. So this bulk material very difficult to carry from one place to another. Want to spend more on transportation cost. So such kind of factors will start where these products are available, or this ore is available, iron ore is available, or coal is available. Both are important for a iron and steel industry. Okay, and the sugarcane industry, it will start basically the places where sugarcane cultivation is possible or present. Clear? Because transportation is possible, but there's a chance it will lose its glucose content while transporting from one place to another. It will dry up. Okay, so such kind of factors also will start where the raw material is available, abundant, or plenty. Okay, you can see consequently manufacturing activity tended to locate at the most appropriate place where all the factors of industrial location are either available or can be arranged at lower cost. So an organizer will choose a particular geographical area to start an industry. Before starting that, he will think about the availability of the factors of production, or we think about how can he arrange it easily. Okay, clear or not? On that basis, basically an organizer will start a manufacturing unit. Okay, so that's it. First of all, we're thinking about you can see here raw material. Next one, it is labor, availability of labor. Okay, workers. Clear? Without the workers, it is impossible to produce a product there. So workers are necessary. Capital, money that to invest to start the production. Clear? Next one, power. Okay, electricity and market. Not only producing the product, we want to sell that product in the market. Then only we are able to make a profit. Clear or not? Okay, producing the product. Later we want to sell that product in the market. Then only we are able to produce profit or earn profit. Clear or not? Okay, so think from the side of an organizer or owner of a company or a manufacturing industry. Okay, here you can see here basic things that are necessary to start an industry is availability of the raw material, availability of labor, availability of capital, availability of electricity, and proximity to the market. Okay, market. We want to sell the thick product in the market, then we can make profit. So just underline all these points there. Okay. It is rarely possible to find all these factors available at one place. Very difficult to find all these things that available in one place there. Very difficult to find all these factors together. Okay. Consequently, manufacturing activity tended to locate at the most appropriate place. Okay. Clear? Most appropriate place where all the factors of industrial location are either available or can be arranged at the lower cost. Okay. So the factory will start, organizer will start a factory where all these factors of production is available, or they are able to arrange that for a lower cost. Okay, after an industrial activity starts, urbanization follows. Okay, so one industry started, related with that industry, number of small industries also will start there. Example, an iron ore processing unit. I mean, the iron and steel company starts. Okay, related with that iron and steel company, pipe manufacturing companies will start, iron sheet manufacturing companies will start, cycle manufacturing companies will start, because these products are basically using iron ore and pig iron or raw iron as what? Raw material. Okay, so number of this kind of small industries also will start related with the big industry. Okay, sometimes industries are located in or near the cities, thus industrialization and urbanization go hand in hand. So underline that. Okay, industrialization and urbanization both will go hand in hand, which means more the industrialization, more the urbanization. That's it. Okay, clear or not? Both movement.
What is the difference between industrialization and urbanization?
Industrialization means in one place, in particular geographical area, number of industries started. Remember, example, one particular industry started there. Okay, I told you, iron and steel industry started in one particular area. For example, take it as A, place A. What started there? Iron and steel industry started. So related with that iron and steel industry, basically iron and steel industry, they are producing raw iron, right? Clear or not? Okay. So this raw iron can be used by another factories or other industries to produce iron sheets, iron pipes, bicycles, right? So from A1, A2, A3, A4, like number of other factories also started, right? Yes or no? So workers are there for all these factories there. Thousands of workers are there. Think, thousands of workers are there. Okay, so what happened there? All these people will choose nearby area to live, right? Yes or no? Clear or not? So for that people, supermarkets are necessary, right? To purchase products. For those people, better transportation facilities are necessary, right? Hospitals are necessary, right? Clear or not? A market is necessary, right? Like that, number of other shops and other institutions will start in that particular region there, all right? So that particular region will become a crowded area, right? Crowded area with almost all the facilities. Okay, so industry is able to convert a geographical area into a city. Clear? Understand? So this process is termed as what? Industrialization. What? Number of industries, increasing in one area, region there. That will lead to what? Urbanization. Okay, that geographical area, that once it was a rural area, now it is converted that into a urban area, a city. Clear? That's it. You can see here, answer for that question is here. Thus, industrialization, urbanization go hand in hand. Cities provide markets and also provide services such as banking, insurance, transport, labor, consultants, and financial advice. Okay, so in a city, we are able to find all these kind of institutions there, right? So these institutions are present there. So more and more industries will start there, right? Clear or not? So both will move together. Okay. Many industries tended to come together to make use of the advantage offered by the urban centers known as agglomeration economies. Underline that word, agglomeration. Okay. Number of industries again and again will start in that particular geographical area, so that geographical area will develop like anything. It is basically termed as agglomeration. Okay, such kind of economies are termed as agglomeration economies. Underline, agglomeration economy. So it is basically related with the industrialization and urbanization. If you are observing, number of international airports are located near this kind of cosmopolitan or metropolitan cities, right? Yes or no? Okay, number of international airports in India basically that is connected with these urban centers there. Okay, just understand that. In the pre-independence period, most manufacturing units were located in places from point of view of overseas trade such as Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, etc. Okay, so before independence, pre-independence, you know that. Okay, before, post means after. So pre-independence period, most manufacturing units, okay, that is basically located in places from the point of view of overseas trade. Okay, before independence, basically they used overseas trade. Okay, sending products from one country to another by using ships there basically. Okay, so they almost all the Indian industries are located nearby Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, because port facilities are available in these places. Okay, Mumbai port, Kolkata port, Chennai port. Clear? So easily they are able to send these goods to other countries. Okay. Consequently, there emerges certain pockets of industrially developed urban centers surrounded by huge agriculture rural hinterland. Nowadays, we can see in India, there is a big city. Okay, basically, a number of industries are there. At the same time, we can find that that particular region is totally surrounded by agricultural land. Basically, it is a rural area. Clear or not? Is that clear? So hope this idea is clear for industrial location. Basically, the people, those who want to start an industry, will think about various factors. Factors we can see here that is connected with the availability of raw material, labor, capital availability. Here, capital means the money that we are investing to start a industry or a production unit. That's called to be capital. Okay, capital. Clear? Capital, power, I mean electricity, and proximity to the market. Okay, clear? You can see the industry market linkage in your textbook. Please observe it clearly. You can see money. Okay, basically money spending to start the business. Okay, or the manufacturing industry, and basically using money to purchase land, labor, and organizer is organizing all the industrial production. Okay, all the production function is controlled by that individual. Okay, clear? And producing the product, and they are producing the product and transporting what they are transporting, these all these things they are transporting to the market there by using the transporting facility. They are transporting all these product to the market and selling that product in the market, and again making money. Finally that money again will come to the industry, right or not, as capital. So it's a cyclical process. So basically money is using to purchase raw material, okay, purchasing land, or giving away wages for the workers. Okay, clear or not? That are the uses of money. Clear? So we can say that money that we can convert into two heads there basically. Okay, basically you can classify into two heads. One is working, and other is fixed. Okay, what is fixed capital? What is working capital? An idea? Here many cameras are off. Turn on that, please. So capital, we can divide that into two. Okay, one is working capital, other is a fixed capital. Fixed capital is nothing but money that what we are spending to purchase machine, tools. Okay, clear or not? Once purchased, we are able to use that for a long period of time. That's called to be fixed capital. Fixed capital. Clear? Okay, once purchased, we are able to use that for a long period of time. And working capital is nothing but regularly we have to pay for it. Regularly we have to purchase it. Such kind of products are there. Okay, that's going to be working capital. Example, raw material, right? Regularly the owner want to purchase the raw material. Clear? And regularly want to pay wages for the workers. So it is the money that what we are spending to purchase the raw material or giving away salary or wages for the workers is termed as the working capital. Clear? Understand? For example, in a hotel, if I had a jug of water, okay, the jug is what? Example for fixed capital, because the hotelier can use that for a long period of time. But water inside that jug is example for what? Working capital, because every day you have to purchase it and want to fill it, right? Yes or no? Is that clear or not? Is that idea clear or not? So capital is there of two types. One is working capital, the other is a fixed capital. Okay, so just keep that idea in your mind. Okay, so then the person is using this money, or organizer using this capital to purchase land, okay, raw material, or paying wages for the workers, and he is producing the products. Clear? Later, using transportation to take all these finished product to the market and selling that in the market to fetch or make a income or money profit. Okay, then all this profit again he will spend in the further production of that particular production there. Clear? Clear? Okay, just understand that. Clear or not? Hello? No responses. At the same time, many cameras are off. I don't know why it is so. Why it is so? Why it is so? No idea about that. Out of 25, only 12 cameras are on. So only 2. Balance of cameras are off. Melvin, Johan, Haya, Afsana, Lolita. Okay. Xavier Hendricks, Aman Shakir, Hadi Amin, Surya, Vishnu, Fia. Please turn on your cameras. Please attend the class. If your cameras are still off, which means you are not present in that video, or that these people are not present there. They turn on, or they connected to the class and they escape. Lolita, are you there? Lolita? No response. Melvin, are you there? Turn on your camera, Lolita. Melvin? So come back. So that's all about industrial location and the industrial and the industry and the market linkage. You can see the flow chart is important for us from examination. Flow chart is important. Please mark that. Here, number of 1 mark answers are there, MCQs are there. Please note down. First of all, agglomeration economics. Agglomeration economics, 1 mark answer. Okay. Then industry market linkage. And basically, the organizer will think about the raw material, labor, capital, power, and markets. Okay. These points are important here. The key to decision of the factory location is the least cost. Almost all the producer will think about reducing the cost of production to produce the products. Okay, reducing what? Cost of production. Cost of production. Okay, they have to produce the good by spending low budget or low cost. They have to produce the product by spending low capital. Clear or not? Or less money. Okay. So the key decision of the factory location is the least cost. So almost all the international companies are choosing China to start their factories. It's nothing but because of availability of cheap labor and availability of cheap raw material. Clear or not? They don't want to spend more on that. Clear? So they started in China. Okay, what is available there? Cheap labor is available, cheap raw material also available. So they choose China to produce their products there because they are able to reduce the cost of production. Cost of production. Clear? Is that clear or not? For example, if you want to increase your profit, definitely you want to reduce the cost of production. Example, you spend rupees 50 to produce a product and sold that particular product for rupees 55 in the market. Okay, imagine. Okay, you produced it for 50 and sold that for 55 and your profit is just rupees 5. Clear? Understand? It is not a good profit, right? And you got and you find a new technology to produce the product there. As a result of that, you reduce the production cost into 20 rupees. Into 20 rupees. Then what is the profit now? What is the profit now? In the first case, your cost of production, CP, it is 50 rupees, and you sold that product in the market for 55. So you got a 5 rupees profit. Now you got a new technology. Okay, new technology. You use a new technology, and you reduce the cost of production. Now the cost of production for one single unit it is 20 rupees, and you are selling the same product in for the same price, 55 rupees in the market. Then what is your profit now?
35.
Huh? 35 rupees. 35. Okay. So this situation is present in country A, and the second situation is present in country B. Okay. Basically, an organizer will choose country B to produce the product, right? Yes or no? Because he or she is able to make more profit. Is this idea clear? Okay, so always you want to reduce the cost of production to improve or create more profit. Okay, so almost all the organizers will think about that. Then next one, government policies are there. Government policies. Some governments are friendly to industries. Okay, friendly to industries. But some governments are there. They are not that much friendly. Example, Kerala is like that. It is notorious for this kind of problems there. In the last month, we studied number of news related with the Kitex company, right? Read or not? No idea about that, right? Fantastic. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So there's a thing available in your home. Maybe ask your parents. Okay, in the morning, they will come to home and they will drop a long sheet of paper. Okay. Do you know that? Termed as newspaper. Do you know that? Huh? No idea about that. You know that. Okay.
Yes,
if a time is there, please try to read something from that. Okay. Prajot Krishna, reading regularly.
sir, here no newspaper.
No newspaper. Okay. Then tell your parents to arrange. Okay. So it's a good time pass in this situation there. Okay. You're simply sitting at the home, right? So you can. Rifa Abdul Kalam searching for newspapers. I think so. Rifa, are you? No. Rifa, I'm audible for you. Rifa Abdul Kalam.
Yes,
Rifa?
sir. We are audible.
Ah, okay, fine. So that's it. Okay, so time is there. Try to read the newspapers. Important. Student, those studying social science. Okay, clear. So that's it. So Kerala is notorious for that. What I told you, Kerala is not that much friendly, the government is not that friendly about industries. Okay, we cannot say that a particular government. There are different policies and programs are there. Okay, some policies are good for the industries and some are not that good. So industries will not, or the owners or the manager, sorry, organizers are not ready to start a industry in Kerala there basically. But other states are the number of industries are basically Tamil Nadu is a best example for that. A number of industries are there in Tamil Nadu, basically manufacturing industries. Number of international companies, I mean car companies or motor companies units are there, plants are there in Tamil Nadu. Basically, we are speaking about southern India. Okay, Tamil Nadu is the best example for that. Even in Andhra Pradesh, even in Karnataka, but not in Kerala. Okay, so this is the one, the flow chart. Next one, the ideal location for an industry. Okay, clear. What is the ideal location? First of all, cost of obtaining raw material at site. First one, cost of obtaining raw material from raw materials at site. Example. Okay. Iron and steel industry. Okay. So it's an iron ore mine. Okay. So only 2 to 3 kilometer is the distance from the iron ore mine to the factory. Iron ore mine to the factory. Think. Okay. Prajyoti Krishna is observing the picture. That's a factory. Okay. So they're clear. It's a factory. Okay. An example for iron ore mine. Okay. Iron ore mine. So only the distance is just 2 to 3 kilometer. Okay, 2 to 3 kilometer. Easily, the organizer can fetch or collect this raw material. Okay, clear or not? So basically, they will start the factory where the iron ore is available. Okay. Anyway, they will not choose a place. It is far from this particular factory, about 1,000 kilometers. Will choose or not? Will choose or not? No, never. They will not, because they can save the transportation cost. So saving transportation cost means saving what? Cost of production, right? Cost of production. They can reduce the cost of production. So just understand that. Right. Next one, cost of production at site. Cost of production at a site. So availability of raw material and availability of cheap labor reduce the cost of production at that particular factory. Okay. Decision to locate factory at site. Cost of distribution of production. Okay, so decision to locate factory at sites means a number of factors are there. Already we discussed about that. Number of other factors are there. Okay, cost of distribution of production. Okay, so distribution of production in the sense nothing but there are factors of production is present there, right? So the remuneration for the factors of production should be less. Okay, such kind of areas, a company, an organizer will choose to start a factory. Is that clear? Okay, leave it. Next one, we are going to the classification of industry. Before the 2 minutes for you people to read that. Okay, yes, thank you. Just read the textbook thoroughly and we will meet in next session.
Thank you, sir.